Assalamu alaikum, Eid Mubarak, and welcome to this very, very special Eid show of Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz. Now we've had a fantastic month of Ramadan, the holy month of Ramadan, and of course fasting is something that we all enjoy. I think for all of you who have fasted in the month of Ramadan, congratulations to you for completing the holy month, and for those of you who could not complete the entire month because of medical or certain reasons, then God be with you, and we hope that after some time, you're able to repay that debt that is there for the month of fasting as well. Definitely tough times. I think we need to celebrate our heroes because it is COVID-19 and the fight against this virus is on, and our healthcare workers, our law enforcement agencies, the district administration, provincial and federal government, I think everybody deserves a lot of credit. We always say that this is a fight in which nobody can win alone. So all of us have got to be together, and we've got to make sure that all of us are there. We're following SOPs, and if you want to celebrate Eid, then do it a bit differently this time, obviously by following these SOPs as well. I am very, very happy and very lucky to be joined by some spectacular people in the show that are going to be celebrating Eid with us. Of course, they've had a good day all along, and now because we're moving to the evening, then obviously things tend to change. But the good thing about Eid al-Fitr is that, and every Eid, I think, both the Eids, that they stay there for 3 days. So the celebrations and the festivities are definitely going to continue for 3 days. I'll be introducing my guests, and I think it's better that we always say ladies first. So I'll start from the other side, where we have been joined by somebody who is stepping into something very new for all of us, and even I don't have that understanding of that sport, but I think she is the pioneer and the founding members of this sport in Pakistan at least. So we'll get to know a lot about that sport in just a short amount of time, but I'm very happy to introduce you to Miss Saima Batul. Assalamu alaikum, Eid Mubarak.
Wa alaikum salam, Eid Mubarak.
How are you, ma'am?
Very well, thank you.
How's your day going so far?
Well, not as the Eids we spent in past. Even last year we've been in a very calm, and we've been, not as much as been in the last previous years. Not many meetings, many cooking, lot of food, and hugging each other, or it's a quiet day, but very safe too.
Very safe too. That's very important. I think very safe is the way to go about it. And of course, she's been joined by little princess that is there with us in this show as well. But make no mistake, when it comes to her sport, she's absolutely terrific. She's none other than little Anaya. Anaya, assalamu alaikum, Eid Mubarak. How are you?
I'm good.
Are you expecting a lot of Eid this Eid?
Yes.
Yes, of course. That's one of the perks. Unfortunately, we're on that side where it's not incoming now, it's outgoing. So that's how it's taking place. I think time now for the gentlemen, and they are gentlemen indeed as well. First of all, I've been joined by a fitness expert, and I think I'm going to learn a lot about when it comes to diet, your fitness routine, and especially in COVID, because things are a bit different. So what kind of routine can you follow? And especially during Eid, do these guys take a break? I don't think so. So I'm definitely going to be talking about that as well. I've been joined by Mr. Rehan. Rehan, assalamu alaikum, Eid Mubarak.
Walaikum assalam, Khair Mubarak.
How are you, Rehan?
I am fine.
Is there a break on Eid for you guys, or not really?
For me it is, because I have been on diet since 8 months. So I am taking a little break.
So it's a cheat day now.
Yeah, cheat week, I guess.
Cheat week. Well, he deserves it, certainly. If he's doing it for 8 months, I think the consistency is there, definitely. We have also been joined by somebody who's definitely made Pakistan proud, and he's very dangerous when it comes to his sport as well, the sport of MMA. That is, I think, right now the most popular contact sport in the entire world, and obviously it's getting a lot of following in Pakistan. None other than Mr. Fizan. Fizan, assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Walaikum salam.
Fizan.
Thank you so much. Eid Mubarak to you as well.
Thank you so much. How are you, and how's your Eid going so far?
I'm good. Eid going is fine, but not the same as before, just like how ma'am said, but we're doing our parts. And the Eid thing, just you say that wo bacche aa rahe hain, Eid and that thing is also going along. So yeah, the day is going fine.
You're also on the outgoing side, I guess.
Yeah, Now we're past that age where we get Eid. Now we just have to give it.
We just have to give it. Very difficult. Trust me, it's very, very difficult to accept that fact. I think no matter how old you get, it's very difficult to see, okay. Because I think one thing that happened very differently this year was because it's COVID, and unfortunately a lot of our relatives have passed away who were from the senior lot, and they used to give us Eid themselves. But their next generations have carried that tradition. So one of my guests dropped by my house, and I was very happy to see him, and he gave me a couple of envelopes. So I thought, okay, the tradition is going to continue, and it had the name of all the little people in the house but not me. So very hard to accept that reality, but obviously I had to add to that and definitely give Eid myself as well. Saima, I think we can frankly say that we belong to a generation that had one of the best Eids, because huge family gatherings, immediate extended families, and of course COVID is here, but even if COVID wasn't here, traditions have been changing, haven't they?
Yes, absolutely. When we were young, like about 6-7 years, like whole months we kept on waiting for the Eid and shopping and clothes and bangles and henna and of course Eid, and we used to count that Eid kahan se mila, how many, and I used to plan, all right,
who's left?
This uncle, mamu, nana, and then I used to dream after this, I'll be very rich, and I'll just keep dreaming that I'll buy this and this nail polishes, although we're not permitted by grandmother to buy the nail polishes, but even then I had these dreams that I'll be doing it. Best Eids, best cultural things, mingling, meeting, seeing each other, hugging each other, and I never forget in the morning they start knocking the doors by 6 o'clock, and then all mithai, like everything, sweets, and more likely several types of savaiya, different, and oh my God, beautiful
indeed. Well, you do miss those times, but times have been changing. We always say that the more technology has connected us, the more it has, made us apart as well. That's very unfortunate, but it does have its pros as well, because now, relatives and friends and family who are away from the country, away from the cities, can connect together through technology and, at least share that bond together as well. And I have to ask you, you're a badminton player, right? So when it comes to Eid, is there a break in badminton, or do you still like playing?
I still like playing, but sometimes we have breaks. But this is my first time joining a club for badminton, and this is my first Eid with the club, so I don't really know if we're going to get a break this Eid or not, but I hope so.
You hope so? Yeah. So how's the club? Tell us about the experience of the club.
The club is very nice. Everyone is very nice to me. And throughout the whole pandemic and everything, it's helped a lot of people have fun and stuff throughout the pandemic. And I just joined it as a hobby, but now it's just become like an everyday thing for me.
For everyday thing, and definitely she's polishing her skills when it comes to badminton as well. And certainly at this very young age, I think she's got a long way to go, and hopefully one day that flag of Pakistan is going to be something that she's wearing. That is definitely the dream for people who are representing Pakistan, and somebody who's representing Pakistan and has been knocking down arch rivals, especially from the neighboring countries. Fazan, how was that experience? Because that was something that the entire Pakistani nation enjoyed.
That was a really good experience, especially when we're up against India. It's a thing that Pakistan and India it always catches the hype of the people. Like, people are really interested to see are we gonna win or not. So we have the support of our country and our fans with us, as compared to other countries that we compete against. So it was a really nice experience. Of course, the nerves were there because when a lot of people are counting on you, so you have to, you know that you have to win. If you lose, they're going to bash you up, so that happens too. So, but then got the win in the first round, so for sure that was a very relief.
So now, being on the international stage myself, I have been able to defeat India a couple of times. So I just want to share that feeling. Do you also felt the same, that no matter how much you practice, when it comes to arch rival India, it's a different ball game than any other country? For sure. And there's a lot of confidence as well, that going up against India, I know that I'm going to beat this guy. There's no way in hell I'm losing. So the nerves were there, but the confidence was also because the entire nation was counting on you.
That's also that also plays a big part in that, for sure.
Life for sure as well, and definitely I think self-belief is something that takes you beyond boundaries to achieve that ultimate adrenaline rush. You know, everything that is there is the biggest power in this world that I think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us is self-belief. And that's what you have to have in you. And faith is very important as well. I keep on stressing, and even in the holy months of Ramadan, I've been saying that one thing that all of us can do is have faith. And then everything else will come to you. You know, just wait for your time, just have faith. Talking about self-belief, Rehan, tell us about your routine now. Because a lot of people make this a hobby, but it's very difficult because our culture does not allow that kind of diet. You know, we're having very spicy food, we're having very heavy food. Rice is like, I think, a national food for us. Yeah. So how difficult is it?
When it becomes a lifestyle, it doesn't you don't really care about those biryanis and kormas. You already have cheat days in a week, so you always try to follow your diet and your workout routines. So it's all about a goal. If you are on a diet, you are losing weight or either gaining weight, it's all about an end result goal. If you are following it, so then you will be really passionate about it.
You know, there's a lot of misconception that, like I was talking to you before the show as well, that people think that, okay, I'll just join a gym, deposit the fee and the registration fee, and go in there and just start picking up weights, and I'll come out and like be a giant. You know, but it's different for every kind of muscle that you want to do, and definitely you can't do the same every day.
Exactly. Right? If it would be that easy, every third person you know would be jacked or have those six-pack abs. It takes courage, it takes time, it takes patience, it takes sacrifices on your diet, on your friends, hangout, social circles, social routine, because you have to give a lot of time to the gym and your nutrition in your kitchen. Like, you are giving an hour to the gym, but you have to take those meals all day long. You have to prep them because your family won't support you at that point, because
obviously
you are making those boiled chicken, boiled rice, and family is making like salan, roti, and you are not eating it. So you have to give it the time.
Obviously, your mom's not going to be like, you know, I'm not making 25 eggs daily, so, you know, for God's sake. There's a very funny incident I still remember, that my younger brother, he's been a gym freak as well, so I understand that he was taking a lot of eggs and, you know, all this diet as well, because he wanted to gain weight as well. So I was very surprised, and one of these days I still see him, and I'm you know, I salute our mother. You know, the way she is able to prep those things is beyond me, because I understand that behind every successful man there is a woman, but I think behind every successful gym lad, it's his mother or his wife or sister or whoever is there as well. So I think kudos to all the women out there who are definitely supporting them. Simon, what is your fondest memory of Eid that takes you back in time?
Many. I mean, I raised up in such a way that I've got many memories. We're a very connected family. We've been taught to have friends. We've been taught to be very particular about meeting, especially on Eid. Spending the time with your elders, grandparents. It was like a culture that you have to go to graveyard a night before or a similar day after the Eid. All the men used to go to, and then the women. I belong to that tradition that we used to go to graves, and then we Surah Fatiha for the elders
who are
passed away. And they are before coming to your program. I went to the graveyard, and, you know, after the Fatiha, although, you know, social distancing was there, I saw many less people than before, but it happened. Yeah, this is what I thought I'll be missing this time, but I went and I did that. Yes, I managed to.
It's very important. I think all of us have lost our loved ones in life, and definitely that's a journey that all of us need to embark on. So better prepare for it. Death is a reality, as Allah Ta'ala has said. And, you know, for those people who have passed away, the best you can do is go to their graves, offer Fatiha and pray for their departed soul. And obviously that's the way to offer your love, respect, and say Eid Mubarak. Definitely, they might not be there, but in spirit they'll always be with you. That's very important as well. And what's your favorite thing about Eid?
My favorite thing is probably going to be getting the Eid.
Getting Eid?
Yeah.
So are you going to be spending that Eid on buying badminton stuff or other stuff that you have in mind?
Maybe, if I get extra Eid.
Extra Eid. So there needs to be an extra fund.
Yeah.
So what are you most interested in spending your Eid on?
Well, I think on things that I could mostly use, like clothes or shoes. And definitely will be getting a new racket for badminton.
New racket for badminton is very, very important. You know, we've all played badminton. And I think talking about badminton, I think in Ramadan Mubarak, it was probably the most favorite sport, because everywhere I went around Islamabad, I saw people playing in their houses, if they've got big lawns, on the roads, on the streets. And badminton is something that we really enjoy. I think that moment after your Tarawih prayer, still, once that time comes for Sahur, you keep on playing badminton and it becomes healthy at the same time, but very, very enjoyable and very, very competitive, trust me. Sometimes if you're playing doubles or singles, the fun is there and rivalries are also created. But sports is definitely something that connects us. Faizan, MMA is something that I think for the past 2 years, and if I go even before COVID, has been making headlines in Pakistan. There are so many young lads coming up with this. I also see women who are eager to take up the sport. How well has this culture established in Pakistan?
It's still taking its baby steps. It's still not where it's supposed to go. It has a lot of potential because the sport has not been launched on a very large scale in the country. But if I compare it to the time when we started, there were no competitions happening. There were only a bunch of us, 2 gyms, just doing their own, 2 or 3 gyms doing their own thing, trying to do something that nobody has done before. But we went out there, we competed internationally, we won fights, and that gained the attention of the media locally and internationally as well, that Pakistani MMA fighters do have talent. So a lot of young athletes also started looking up to us and they started training, and now the scene has really evolved from the time that I started. A lot of events are happening. They're like, just last year, even in the pandemic, like I think 10 or 12 MMA events happen, even boxing event happens. So combat sports is catching the hype.
That's something what people need to understand, because we all grew up watching wrestling, and at a certain age we understood that it's drama. It's not real. But when it comes to MMA, the blood is real, the bone crushing is real, and the injuries are real.
For sure. A lot of people still think that the WWE is real, but it's not actually. It's basically they play it in a very safe environment. But for mixed martial arts, the sport is basically evolved as a sport that has the minimum set of rules as a combat sport. Let's say if you talk about boxing, that's not fighting. That has rules. You can only use your hands. Talk about kickboxing, you cannot grapple. So mixed martial arts is a sport where you're free to do everything to your opponent that you would like to do, and it's also very diverse and versatile in it.
And what about injuries? Coming back from injuries, because these are injuries that take a lot of time in rehab. So have you been able to go through that rehab? Have you had any injuries which you thought were probably very, very serious?
I got injured in my last fight, and since a year I've been recovering from that injury. I got a shoulder surgery after that injury, and it's been tough. It's been the worst part of my life, and it's very, very hard to get out of this, because when you're injured, and especially after surgery, you go back to zero. And coming back from there, it takes a lot of motivation. It takes a lot of dedication and vision. You have to have a very strong mental power, because the moment you start thinking that okay, it's not happening, you will not heal. So to heal, you have to have that confidence. You have to have that vision that one day I'm going to be there. And like for the first few months, I got a bit let down, but then I pulled myself together, and I know that I have to get back, and I have to get back to my sport. And now I'm doing really good, and just like a few months to go till I go.
Hopefully, inshallah, we've got a lot of prayers for you, and hopefully we see you back in the ring as well, because definitely I think MMA, and I've been in that ring, so I understand. As a ring announcer, I felt that energy, and I think once these fighters get into the ring, it's absolutely amazing. And people need to understand that it's a very serious sport. If you're taking this up as a professional career, then you've got to understand the injuries involved, and also a lot of other stuff that comes with this as well. It's not an easy job that you can train and just go and fight, because what people normally think that it's just a street fight, it isn't. I think once you get a hold on your neck or whatever, I think you're going to tap out the very second. So I understand how serious it is. But we're talking about injuries and stuff that takes a lot of time. Your field is also something that requires patience and a lot of time. You're not going to be able to do it in one day.
Exactly. Basically, initially you need a trainer, a fitness professional. A fitness professional will help you to come over those injuries if you have one, or if you don't have, you can get one if you don't have a professional or perfect guide towards fitness.
But people are very skeptical about trainers, because I think one fact is that there is a very common misconception that trainers are only there to make money, and okay, I don't want to spend money on a trainer, I can do this myself.
basically, if you are doing it by yourself, you will there are a lot of chances that you're prone to an injury, because you are seeing the videos on YouTube, but no one's seeing you that you're doing that angle or exercise on a perfect angle. A fitness professional will be there to spot you, to give you a good diet plan, a good nutrition plan, because without a good nutrition plan or a direction, you can't achieve anything. You are just trying your best, but at the end of the day, you will be depressed of the results.
You're depressed of the results as well. So, how long have you been doing this?
I have been training for like 5 years. Last year I got a knee injury and I was on rest, so I gained weight up to 95 kilograms. Then I started dieting from 8 months, and now I am 65.
So it took 8 months to come down to this, and I don't believe you were ever 95. Doesn't look like that. So there, so there you go. That's the difference that things can make. But I think little bit of effort if people put in, especially for the people who are out there and want to lose weight.
Exactly. There are two things: bodybuilding and fitness. Fitness is something like you can go for a walk and follow a good diet plan, and you will be fit. You will be not prone to those big like diabetes and different kind of diseases we see these days. So fitness is something everyone can follow, and everyone should follow, because going for a walk or doing household things doesn't take a lot of time.
Very common.
Yeah, it's very common. And following a balanced diet plan.
And if you're living in Islamabad, then you're already blessed, because you've got fantastic trails and fantastic
parks. Exactly.
Yeah, so that's very important. And I think in COVID, people have gotten more serious about their fitness as well.
Exactly.
And I have really loved the lifestyle change that comes with fitness as well, because once I stepped into this, I couldn't believe that I would even walk a kilometer, but 10 kilometers, 8 kilometers, you start enjoying that. So it becomes a hobby as well. But we're talking about so many new things that all of us have achieved. And I think it won't be complete if we're not talking about the new sport that Saima has been introducing in Pakistan. And I've heard that, her club, which is the first in Pakistan regarding air badminton that we're talking about. And now you're going to be surprised that it's very different from traditional badminton. So technicalities are different. There's a lot of different things, and I'm not aware of that. So I think I'm definitely going to ask her. But her club is, like I said, one of the first in Pakistan, is already enjoying 20 members, and I'm sure many more to go. So Saima, first of all, tell us about air badminton. We're very new to this now.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you very much. Air badminton is, again, badminton, but being played by different gadgets, different tools, different environment. So what is the gadget? Gadget is a different shuttle, because in the past the shuttle been made by fathers and the different things, and now I just forgot. I could have brought one for you. Yeah. It's I'm sorry for that.
No.
So that is a air resistant, real air resistant, weather resistant, can resist the snow, can water, the rain, the weather,
the wind.
The wind.
That's the biggest problem playing badminton.
You can play the air badminton is initiated by seaside. So you can play on the beach. So there's a 10 points game. It's not 21. It's 10 points, and on 6 points you have to change the sides. And the playing area is not 14 meters as the past conventional was, traditional. Now it's 16. And in single, double, and triplet, there's a triplet introduced.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, and BWF has, this rule that you have to have a female
in that three.
Yes.
That's great. Yeah. So that's gender balance.
Yeah, it is a diplomacy. It's a gender balance thing. And as you speak about Barefoot Air Badminton Club, we appreciate the women on the top, transgenders, and the nursery, the young girls, and then the boys. And there's no best of three. Remember, you don't have to wait for, okay, I'll win on the next. I probably look for the next. Every shuttle is the last shuttle. And in this, you have to serve from 3 meters. 3 meters, because in a conventional, you just like a 1.5, like sort of meter or 2 feet. It's like a meters. So it really takes your energy.
That's one of the things I hated the most when I was being served a 1 meter shot, because it's very difficult to pick up and you're expecting something to come out top. But that's how it gets different. But you've been a badminton player yourself.
Yes.
So if you've been playing badminton, so definitely you have to have I think you must have an edge now going into air badminton, right?
Yes.
So if I've been playing badminton, then I can easily take up air badminton.
Not easily, really. Let me tell you my story, because when I went to play Canadian Open, and I was told that there's something air badminton. I was like, oh my God. if I ask a question, wouldn't they think that I'm from the third world countries? And there was a lot of complex. Then I said, no, I will dare. Then I asked a couple of my Indian and Canadian friends, what is that? They took me to the seaside, that's the beach. And I saw that. From there, I took the initiative. And as you said, it is easy. No. I thought it's very easy, but handling the shuttle throughout the wind up to the sky was really difficult in the beginning.
A lot of strength required.
You need strength, you need to run, you need to really jog. It's a 16-meter court, and you just can hit once. The friend or the partner of yours have to take the charge for the next hit. And in this, you can always pass on the shuttle to you.
Like volleyball.
Yeah, almost the same. And if you hit like a conventional badminton, you know, when you're a stronger player, when you are not attack, your quality is to hit the shuttle and shot. In this, you can't shot on the net. So what? So you have to run throughout. So the best thing is anyone can access this sport. Because in conventional badminton, you need a place, you need a roof.
So let's say there are 3 players on each side. How many times can a team hit the shuttle in one go?
One player will hit once.
Once, then my partner can probably take it over?
Yes, had to. Otherwise, it's a foul. You have to be alert. Because if you play, the opponent will definitely try to target you.
Because you've already had your turn.
Yes, and you have to cover your partner, and you have to. It's like a whirling in the current.
That's great, you know. So it's not just a sport. There's a lot of evil genius involved in that as well. So that's how it gets fun as well. But speaking about that, I've heard that you are responsible for the nursery side.
Yes.
So how well has that been? Because at such a young age, already teaching a lot of people.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's a good feeling, and
Very challenging though.
Yeah, very
She
challenging.
cries sometimes, you know.
It's hard at the same time, but it's very good, and it just feels nice to just.
So do you have a good bunch of kids around you?
Yes.
Are they good? So that's good as well. And what about air badminton?
Air badminton, I've played it in a few matches. The hardest thing for me was that if I've hit it, and they would always put me in the front side so I could hit it easily. People were targeting me because I already hit it. So what I did, since I was smaller, I would just duck and my opponents would hit it from the
That's
back.
very smart. So like I said, a lot of technicalities and split-second decisions and evil genius involved. But I think when it comes to sport, I've always stressed the importance that you cannot be excelling in your sport if you're not performing in competitive sports. That's very unfortunate, don't you think, Fazan, that even in MMA, you can practice all you want, but until you're thrown into a competitive ring, you won't get that level.
For sure, you have to have the cage experience to actually get the feel of what it actually feels like to be in a fight, because you can spar in, we always spar in the gym, it's like a practice fight. We put on the protective gear, the head guards and big gloves and shin pads, and we fight with each other. But that's totally different because you're in a gym environment. But when you go up into a cage, there's audience, there's an arena that has 5,000 people cheering for you, and then you're in a different.
Not just cheering, they're putting you
down.
Yeah,
they're putting you down as well. Especially when you're in a different country and you're fighting their guys. So that happened to me a lot because whenever we used to go, we didn't have anyone. I went into fights where, because of lack of funds, I didn't even have a corner. So I just had to go alone to the fight. And the arena was full of all the Filipino people, and it was their fighter who was fighting, and I'm just there to,
So you were 1 against 1,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you do then if you don't have a corner? Then what, you go yourself, wipe yourself off, drink your own water and come back?
Well, they do provide you a corner, but they're not really,
But even they're like, here you go, your towel.
Yeah, just do what you want to do. So of course but then when in the initial stages we did have these kind of problems. So now our coaches go because I'm with One Championship. It's the second biggest organization of mixed martial arts after UFC in the world. So they provide.
What's it called?
It's called One Championship.
One Championship.
One Championship. You must have heard about UFC. So,
UFC, yes.
So second to UFC, One Championship is the biggest mixed martial arts promotion in the world. It's based in Asia. They have the shows in Asia. They recruit fighters from all over the world, but they're based in Singapore and they conduct shows.
So Fazan,
around
how
Asia.
does the tier system work in mixed martial arts? If we talk about that, because in boxing we understand categories are defined on your weight. So is it same with MMA as well for the people who don't understand it?
Yes, competition is always defined. You always fight the guy the fight is agreed on a specific weight. Let's say I'm fighting at bantamweight, which is 61.2. So there's a weigh-in one day before the fight, and you have to weigh in on the same weight. So weight cutting is also a very tough part in mixed martial arts because most athletes have to cut a lot of weight, and the reason why they cut weight is because the other guy is cutting weight to gain an advantage on the fight day. So
you become more agile, don't you?
Basically, the reason for cutting weight is that you don't cut. You only cut your water weight just to weigh in. Like your normal weight is 66 kilos, but just to weigh in, you cut out the water from your body. You weigh in at 61. You rehydrate, and you're back on your normal weight.
66, yeah.
So you get an advantage on the fight day. So 2, 3 or 4 kilos advantage in the fight game plays a lot of. It can play to your advantage a lot. So I cut like 12.5 kilos in one day.
One day?
Yeah, because I was offered to fight in Malaysia for strawweight, and at that point there was no competitions happening, so we just had to accept whatever fight we were getting, and it was also a championship fight, so I couldn't reject that. So I had to come down from 63 to 52. I cut around 1.5 to 2 kilos during my training, but when I went to Malaysia, I don't know what happened. My weight came back up, so I was around 63 when I was there. When I started cutting, and in 24 hours, I was able to cut around 11.5, 12 kilos.
How is that possible?
Well, there's a whole procedure throughout the month. You have to water load a lot. You have to cut out the salts because salt retains the water in your body.
That's a big understanding that I got when I wanted to cut weight. That salt is probably the biggest contributor when it comes to your weight.
Yeah, so you have to cut out the salt. You have to eat a very clean diet as well, but the most part is water loading. You have to get your body used to sweating and flushing out water. So when you go into the sauna on the last day, you sit in the sauna and you sweat, and you just wipe yourself off.
And you can't rehydrate during that?
No, it's just for like a 4 or 5 hours. Once you weigh in, then you can rehydrate, but very slowly. You drink like 1 liter every hour, like coconut water, and you drink electrolytes just to get your energy and your salts back. But of course, that affects your stamina if you're cutting that much weight. So now what one championship, the organizations that I'm in contract with, what they've done is that they've totally banned weight cutting because it's very bad for fighters. So you cannot cut your water weight. So they weigh in, they check your weight throughout the week, throughout the fight week, like 3 or 4 times, so that to make sure that no fighter is cutting weight. So I think that's a very good initiative that they've taken, because
obviously the health of fighters is very important, and you want it to be on a level playing field.
Yeah.
That's very important, I think. But a lot of insight into this. Shedding water weight is definitely something very important, but at the same time, like Fazan is stressing, that be very professional and talk to your trainers and your fitness experts. We've seen people collapsing, we've seen people overdoing it and getting dehydrated, so you don't want to do that.
I would also like to give out a disclaimer that this is not for everyone. Weight cutting is only for athletes and is for a specific purpose. People who want to lose weight should not cut out the water in their body, because the water provides all the nutrients throughout your muscles, so it's very important to be
So you mean there are no shortcuts for all very beautiful people, right? So don't do that. There is no shortcut. You have to let go of your sweet tooth. You've got to say no to junk, and you've got to be very responsible about it. But the intake of water, even in your routine, is very important, isn't it?
Exactly. At least 4 liters of water is recommended to every sedentary individual. But if you are an athlete or you are some person who is going to the gym in the summers, you need to hydrate even more, because you sweat a lot and you are losing the electrolytes. Not only water, you need to take like ORS or BCAAs, add some supplements, multivitamins, because you are sweating, and the electrolytes, when you are not on like those electrolytes and energy levels, your mind will not perform like it used to be.
So Rehan, what was different during the holy month of Ramadan? How did you change your routine? Because obviously the element of fasting comes in for a lot of people, and timings are a bit different during Ramadan. So how did you manage to? Did the routine stay the same, or did you have to cope up with the month?
Actually, I had a very big advantage that before Ramzan, like 4 months before Ramzan, I was on an intermittent fasting routine, where I used to wake up at 7 and take my breakfast and go to my university, take classes, then go to my gym, train my clients, different gyms. Then I used to work out and then come at home at like 6 or 7 and then take my dinner, a big meal. That was a big meal. So I used to have a 12 hours gap. In between, I used to hydrate myself. And
but no carbs in this, right?
That doesn't matter, because if you are taking carbs before sleeping or in the breakfast, that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, all the calories you are intaking matters a lot. So intermittent fasting was because I wanted to have a big meal before sleeping, because I'm sweet take. So if I didn't take a big meal before sleeping, so I used to crave sugar. So that was the point of doing intermittent fasting. Or it really helped me in Ramzan. Just the thing difficult was cutting on the water intake during the fasting period.
Yeah, because thirst is something that really messes you up, and I think it's very important. But a lot of misconceptions would be clear, and I think a lot of you lot can now get in touch with Rehan for your fitness routine, and get in touch with Faizan if you want to, take up the sport of MMA. So I think a lot of avenues are there, and air badminton definitely Saima is, and if you've got young kids at home, then of course Little Miss Anaya is there for all of you young kids who want to join the field of badminton or air badminton as well. So a lot that we're talking about. Let's talk about fondest memories, and I'll be quickly moving on to something that I think for specific each shows you need to have fun games. So if we can just move on to that very quickly. But before that, I'll just ask these two gentlemen. Faizan, what is your best memory of each so far growing up in the previous years?
I think when we used to be kids, we always used to put out our clothes on the bed before sleeping. So what are we going to wear in the morning? So that's I think that's the most beautiful thing that I remember from my past. That was something that, especially for this Eid, the sweets and the clothes thing. So I was really particular about what I'm going to wear.
What I'm going to wear. That used to be a big competitive sport itself. What you're wearing and what your siblings and what the next person is wearing as well. What about you, Rehan? What is the best memory that you have of Eid?
It was used to getting those Sherazi guns from the
brothers.
That was my favorite memory. I really miss it a lot.
Yeah, because you used to gather Eid, and that guy used to be standing outside your door. And wherever you are celebrating Eid, for us, we used to go to big family gathering at one of our relatives' place, and whenever we gathered Eid, he was standing right outside. And there used to be a huge competition. One team is separate. It's like a paintball fight all over the sudden. That's how it goes as well. But just to make things fun, I've got my smartphone device over here, and I think we can definitely have a bit of fun, because I have a couple of questions which are going to be asked to our guests, but we want the answers to be very quick and one word. So it's sort of like a rapid fire as it's normally called. But these are very fun, about 6-7 questions. We had 200 of them, but obviously PTV World is doing a lot of Eid transmissions, so we had to balance them out. And people are still going to kill me that I've been using these questions, but we're one big family, so I hope they understand. So I think, Simon, let's start with you, and we want it to be very, very quick.
Okay.
So you've got probably 2-3 seconds to answer one question,
okay,
right? So you can. And at the end of the day, I will be announcing that there is no prize. So you get the fun of it. Right. So, your first question, if you could buy any type of food right now, what would you buy?
Boiled chicken.
Boiled chicken. You see, with these athletes, it's always different. What color is your toothbrush?
Just pink.
It's pink. There you go. Very quick indeed. She's acing it already.
Yeah.
If you could be any animal, what it would be and why?
Dog.
Why?
That loves. And
Compassion.
Yes.
What is the one thing that you would put on your bucket list?
Bucket list.
Something that you still haven't been able to do and you want to do.
Oh, I would be, start coloring my hairs, to put things in the bucket and start, color my hairs.
Oh, that's what you want. Okay, your favorite type of superhero and why?
Superheroes are many. The people who dare are my heroes. And could be heroines too. It's not a gender thingy.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Superwoman could also be
Superwoman. Who could deliver, who could be brave, committed.
Who do you admire the most in life?
Myself.
Very cheeky. If you had a movie made on you, what would it be called, and who would you want to play that role?
I would be as I am and I would be called a beautiful superwoman.
Superwoman. So you want a superhero movie. Well done. I think a lot of applause for Syed. Really well done. Good competition to all you. And are you ready? Do you understand the rules of the game now?
Kind of.
Kind of.
Very
Still have
fast
an
for
advantage.
me.
You're still my favorite, but you still have the advantage, right? Okay. So, and if you could buy any type of food right now, what would it be?
Sushi.
Sushi. You love sushi? It's very difficult for people. That's
I've been eating it since.
Oh.
I've been eating sushi since I was 9 months.
9 months you were feeding a kid sushi?
She's my mother.
Her mother is a cook. She's an international caterer of a cook. She's a professional cook. Only saying if she can cook for others, why not to the child?
Why not the child? So her mother was giving her sushi. So and Saima supports the fact that she's justifying why you would feed 9 months old a sushi.
Yeah.
I still can't have it.
Oh.
But well done, very good. What color is your toothbrush?
Blue.
Blue, very nice. If you could be any type of animal, what would it be and why?
A bear.
A bear, why?
Because they're fluffy and big.
Fluffy and big. That's so cute, fluffy and big. Right. What is the one thing that you want to put on your bucket list? Something that you really want to do in your life?
Travel a lot.
Travel a lot. That's one of my favorite hobbies as well. Who is your favorite superhero and why?
My favorite superhero would be Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, she's very strong and I just like her.
She just likes her. I understand a lot of girls do have a thing for Wonder Woman. A lot of boys do as well. What do you admire the most? Who's your favorite person in the world?
My mom, dad, and teacher Saima.
Your mom, dad, and teacher Saima. So,
Thank you.
So you're already being rewarded. Well done. Very well done. I think great stuff done. Okay, guys, you got to give tough competition to the women, right? Don't make me lose this. Right, we'll start off with Rehan. Rehan, if you could buy any type of food right now, what would it be?
Molten lava cake.
Molten lava cake. Wow, what a diet he's been following for 8 months. Molten lava. I feel for the guy. I think 8 months of this diet has really done him good.
Yes.
What color is your toothbrush?
Yellow.
Yellow, very nice. If you could be any animal, what would it be and why?
Rhinoceros.
Rhinoceros, why?
Because he's jacked.
Jacked. Oh, so he likes that. What is the one thing that you would put on your bucket list that you've always wanted to do?
To become a motivation for people whom they can look up to.
Aren't you that already?
I want to grow bigger.
Grow bigger. So that's the theme, be a motivation. Very, very thoughtful. What is your favorite superhero and why?
Thor and Captain America.
Captain America. I had a hunch she's going to say that, but that's good. Who do you admire the most?
My parents.
Your parents. If there was any movie that we made on you, what would it be called and who would play you?
Time is over.
Superman kind of a movie.
Superman, and who would play that role?
Obviously, I would.
You want himself to make the movie.
Yeah.
And I didn't ask him. I had that. What movie would you like yourself to be in?
One where I can eat a lot of food.
Eat a lot of food. That's good. Right, but well done, Rehan. I think equally well done. But man, that last question may have given the ladies something to cheer about. Right, Fazan, you ready?
Let's go.
You need a ring announcement before this as well.
I don't mind.
Right, weighing in at this many pounds in the right corner. Here comes Mr. Fazan. Right, Fazan, if there was any food that you could buy right now, what would it be?
Bubble tea.
Bubble tea? Why?
Because I just tried it a few days ago and I love it. Like, I love the taste.
That's something new. That's something new.
Yeah,
Bubble
very
tea.
nice.
What color is your toothbrush?
Yellow.
Yellow. Oh, both of you share the same toothbrush?
Just random.
What could you be if you could be any animal, what would it be and why?
Lion, because it's a sign of strength.
Sign of strength. And I think the king, that's how you prefer it. What is the one thing that you put on your bucket list and you always wanted to do?
Bungee jumping.
Bungee jumping. There you go.
I really want to do that.
Always. And I think in New Zealand is the best place probably.
For sure. Anywhere. I would just,
Anywhere where you want to take a dip in the water and then come back probably.
If there's water, that's better.
More safe, but trust me, people tend to pass out in between, so they don't realize the journey. Right. What is your favorite superhero and why?
Batman, because he doesn't have any superpowers. He's just a human like us, but he has built himself to be a Superman.
Built him. My God, you cannot imagine the love I have for Bruce Wayne, man. We share a bond. I'm always a Batman person. Right, and the final one, who do you admire the most?
As a sports celebrity, I think Jorge Masvidal or Khabib.
Yeah. Khabib has been one of the most favorite. And final question, if there's a movie made on you, what would it be called and who would play it?
of course, I would play it, and it would be called The Survivor.
The Survivor. So very well done. I think Rehan, very well done as well. I think great fun we're having, but unfortunately time is going to be a luxury that we don't always have. And well done to all of you. And I definitely think all of you gave great answers. And if I had to pick one winner, it would be very difficult. But I definitely think Faizan was able to do it. So well done, Faizan. I think very well done, apart from your toothbrush. But then again, like I said, time is something we don't have. All of us have really had a great time. I hope my guests enjoyed as well. I think we'll just very quickly take all of our messages that we would like to give out on Eid to all the viewers and all the friends and family watching. Saima, very quickly, what is your message that you'd like to tell people on this special occasion of Eid?
Stay safe, stay blessed, stay healthy.
Stay healthy.
And Eid Mubarak.
And Eid Mubarak as well. And Aya, would you like to say anything to everybody who's watching?
I would say stay safe and don't meet too many people, even though it's tempting on Eid, especially if you're younger for Eid. But yeah, just stay safe.
Just stay safe as well. Rehan, your message to all the people out there, your loved ones watching?
Stay safe and do some basic exercises at your home. Lazmi follow a diet plan.
Yeah, you have to follow that. He's going to be very. He just said molten lava cake, and now he's going to tell us to follow a diet plan. So, Faizan, your message out there to all the people watching.
I would just tell everyone to stay safe, especially in this pandemic, and take care of your parents. Love your parents. They're a blessing that you have, and you always, try to take their prayers. Listen to them. Don't say a bad word to them, and cherish them while you have them. So.
Absolutely. I think that is the take. Faizan, Rehan, Saima, and I thank you so much for making my Eid very special. I've been very, very honored to have all of you and sending Eid greetings to all of our viewers of PTV World out there, each and every one of you. I think one message is clear to all of you. Stay safe, follow SOPs wherever you are. Do meet your loved ones, but take those precautions that are there and very, very necessary. And I think the final word I'd say is get vaccinated. And at the same time, you have to remember people who are from the lower segments of society. There might be your household staff, might be your domestic staff, your workers, everybody out there. But I think at this special occasion, I would definitely want to say a big, big, big thank you to all our people here at PTV World, especially our camera crew, our IT, engineering, our producers, our heads, everybody that is involved, from the BO to the lightman and everybody. I think you're all very special, and you're the part where we feel like a family, and this is of course our family indeed as well. Eid Mubarak to everyone out there, everyone from PTV World, everyone from Pakistan, all around the world, and definitely from the team of Sports Extra, all the Eid greetings your way. We hope you enjoyed, because you still have 2 more days of Eid remaining, and you've got tonight as well. Enjoy it, stay safe, stay healthy, and at the same time, like I said, please be sure that you're following COVID SOPs. That being said, I think all of us on the count of 3 are going to say Eid Mubarak. 1, 2, 3, Eid Mubarak, and it's goodbye for now.